What's up, fam? Farmer Q here. We got another one for y'all today, and today we're going to be going outside and we're going to be harvesting some Morris heading collard leaves, and we're going to come back in and we're going to plant some yard-long beans. So the Morris heading collards, they've been really out there growing and going strong. They've been out there really growing and going strong for a while now, and I'm ready to really just start harvesting leaves off of them. We are gonna actually harvest the kohlrabi later on another video, but it's coming very soon because that kohlrabi is looking very ripe, and goodness, we've come a long way. But we're gonna plant some more watermelon seeds too. We're gonna make sure that we really take advantage of the space that we have in the garden this year, because it's just really important that we take in these experiences and that we take in every moment of our journey to wherever it is that we're going to go and just make the most of it. So without further ado, let's get it. So in here I already have 2 handfuls of coconut coir perlite mixture. I'm going to open up this bag of Mother Earth groundswell. It's actually their performance brand of soil, and I'm cutting it in half with this coconut coir. So we'll be taking 2 handfuls of this and we'll be adding it to this coconut coir. We'll be getting that mixed up. So let's go ahead and do that. And as you can see, Mother Earth makes some really good soil. It smells great. We're going to take 2 handfuls, pretty much equivalent to how we did the coconut coir. We did just like this 2 times. We got 1. Got it good. Let's get the bucket closer so we don't get any on the carpet. Alright, we got 1. And we have 2. Just like that. We'll mix our soil up. Our soil and coconut coir mixture here. Get it nice and mixed up. Alright, we have our soil and our coconut coir mixed up. We'll actually do it like this to make it easier on ourselves. Got 1 and 10. We also have a little bit of soil left over just in case we want to plant a little something extra later, which we probably will because we have to soak some okra. So we have just enough to plant a few more okra. What we're going to do is press our soil down some to make sure that when we plant our seed that they do not travel too far from the spot that we planted them, because we're planting some pepper, we're planting some beans. So the beans will probably be okay, but the peppers may get lost in the sauce if we're not careful about it. So just trying to be mindful of that. So we'll go ahead and make our little planting holes. The planting holes will be kind of tiny because we're dealing with pepper here. No need to make huge planting holes. Just big enough to get it in there. So we're going to plant 2 seeds of each variety. 2 Kingstar Peach Star Kiss, 2 Kingstar White Thai, 2 Apple Crisp, 2 long beans, 2 Taiwan Yard long beans, and 2 chili pekin peppers. Hopefully we can get 100% germination because we got 10 cells to work with here. But we're going to go ahead and finish making the rest of our holes here. We'll make 2 of our holes a little bit deeper than normal because of the yard long beans. But other than that, the pepper holes will be not so deep. We'll make this hole for the bean and this hole for the bean, just like this. Now what we're gonna do, I'm gonna go grab a marker so that I can write down what these seeds are. We'll start with the chili pekin peppers, and we'll make sure that we label them as we plant them. Perfect. We got 2 chili pekin peppers right here. We'll go ahead and sprinkle a little mycorrhizae in each of these holes here. We don't need much. There we go. All right, we got 1 chili pekin here. We got 1 chili pekin here. Gonna cover those holes up just like that, just like that. But what we're gonna do before we continue is we're gonna write CP for chili piquin. We're gonna do that for this one as well. Got that labeled. Now we're gonna go for the star-kissed. Perfect, we got 2 right off the bat there. So we're gonna plant 1 here and plant 1 here. Peppers don't need much depth to be planted. So we're gonna, on here, we're gonna write star-kissed for SK. Do the same for this one. Next up, we have the white Thai. We'll get 2 of these white Thai going. Gotta put 1 back. We got 2 of the white Thai. So we have 1, put 1 here, cover them both up. So these are the white Thai, so we're gonna write, on these we're gonna write there we go. Next up we have the apple crisp. For we gotta put 2 back this time. That's 1. That's 2. These are the apple crisp peppers. So we got those planted and covered. We're gonna write AC on these. Next up we have the Taiwan yard long beans. Really excited about these. We're gonna try to get all we need off 2 of these because we have some Christmas pole lima beans up already. So my camera died on me, but we got everything watered in. We got all the seeds planted and we got the watermelon just about ready to go outside. We've been hardening them off. We've been bringing them outside for a few hours a day, getting them ready to go to the big boy land garden. So there we go. So we're out here in kohlrabi collard land and we're gonna harvest some collard leaves today. So I just want to harvest enough to where I can actually make something out of what I want to harvest. So we're gonna go ahead and take the leaves starting from the bottom here. We're gonna try to do it in a way that is real efficient for the plant. So here's the typical leaf. I mean, we got a little bug damage, but other than that, you know, we're nice and healthy. We're gonna give them a good wash, of course, before we use them. But go ahead and take a little few leaves off this plant here. Got some real pretty leaves for the taking. And we'll leave the center for growth. But I call this a greedy harvest, what I'm doing right now. I'm actually gonna take a little bit more than what I would take if I was just trying to make just a little batch. So I'm gonna take what I need. So we're gonna see how the collards respond to it. I'm sure they'll bounce back. But I really need to open up some light space for the garden too. So we're gonna be killing 2 birds with 1 stone with this. My stomach is literally growling looking at these leaves. They're so rigid and strong. And we got some stuff eating on our leaves out here, but we got some beer traps we're gonna put out thanks to our fam, Lady Cheryl, that we're gonna really take advantage of. So we'll get that going too. But as y'all can see, I'm coming out with a nice little harvest here. Obviously, we'll wash the leaves so we can do away with the bug niblets. It's still gonna be there, but gonna make sure that we got anything that they left behind off of there. But oh yeah, this is a beautiful harvest. I'm having a great time right now. It's always amazing to be in the garden and to just soak in everything that's going on out here. You hear the birds. Of course, we're in the city, so we hear some cars and everything, but You know, one day we'll even try to separate ourselves from even that a little bit, but you know, right now we enjoy everything for what it is. Seeing some of these butterflies that, or these moths that leave behind those eggs, so we'll definitely be on the lookout for some of those worms that come out and try to eat up all your leaves and everything. So we'll definitely be on the lookout for those, like I said. Look at our bucket so far, looking nice and healthy. We're gonna keep it going because we got more to go. Look at that. Like I said, they'll come back. We'll go ahead and harvest this leaf too. But as you can see, we still got a lot to go, so I'm gonna take these in the house and then we will reload the chamber. All right, so now that we got an empty pail, we're gonna harvest some more leaves. I'm just harvesting any of the leaves that are considerably large or old on the plant. And I'm leaving some of the, like at least one big leaf on every plant that I harvest so that it has the energy to grow it back. But we're gonna take a nice little amount off this right here. As you can see, we kind of let these go a little bit, but it'll be to our advantage because we're definitely going to can this stuff. Yep, I'm going to be doing water bath canning, and now that gives me confidence that I'll really be able to take advantage of a lot of my harvests. I cut the stem of this part accidentally, so I'm going to harvest this leaf as well. Just coming in here and just taking the big leaves off. I like these collards because the stem is thick all the way up to the leaf, and then it immediately thins out. And on the back side, it's barely any real stem. So the Morris heading collard is a very good collard. Got it from Baker Creek. Oh yeah, we brought that one down quite a bit, but these collards, they'll all come back. And it seems like they really don't mind the heat at all. So we're really just taking a nice amount so that we can have a good amount to can with. Of course, eat them as well. Fresh off the pot. There you go. This is one of the leaves that the snails really, or the slugs really got to. But as you can see, the plant came back strong. Just took some love and some care. But we still got to put the slug traps out, so the best is yet to come. These collards smell very good. Look at that leaf. That is a beautiful leaf. We'll go ahead and harvest any damaged leaves that we have on the plants so that we can really get that good growth going back good. but cut away at this one a little bit. It's a smaller plant, but still got to get that leaf growth pushing, so we're gonna harvest what we can. Got to be real careful with this knife. It's very sharp. This leaf right here is really big. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and harvest this leaf right here. Really big, healthy leaf. So, got a few more leaves to harvest on this plant right here. We'll go for a twofer right here. Just like that. Got those. And we'll leave this plant mostly intact, but we're gonna go ahead and take one more leaf because it's kind of shading out the squash a little bit. We'll cut around it. But yeah, we got some ginormous leaves to harvest. Like I said, we'll harvest the damaged leaves so we can just kind of get the plant to be pushing that good growth. But you can see the nice shine we got on the leaves. It's real nice and strong, real nice and healthy. Look at that. And we're really opening up some light for the rest of the bed to kind of be able to start to come into fruition. Come over here, you start to see some of the kohlrabi. But we got a few more leaves to harvest. Obviously our pail here is really full to the top, so I guess we will take one more load in and then we'll harvest some more of these leaves. But we also have a few broccoli leaves to harvest, so let's go ahead and take these in. All right, so we have a few more leaves to harvest, so let's get it. There we go. Look at that leaf. Beautiful. Boom. Boom. We have a few more leaves on this plant to harvest, and then we'll go ahead and cut this leaf off right here so that we can kind of get it off of there, because it's touching the ground. And as you can see, since it had ground contact, it was a lot more of a draw for the slugs that are on the plant. And we'll see if we can really light that up so you can see it a little bit better. But yeah, as you can see, some slugs on there. Now we're gonna harvest a few more leaves off of these plants here. We'll call it quits off these plants for now. This plant has a very upright and unique structure to it. The leaf grows all the way down the stem. Looks kind of like kale. Pretty strong leaves though. And that's all we'll take off the Morris heading collards. And we'll come back and we'll take some more off of them later, but actually we'll take one more leaf off this kind of touching the desi squash here. But that kind of opens up the area for the desi squash to really take off and start to come into its own and start to put on some real weight. But as you can see, it has a whole bunch of flower sites, a bunch of male flowers obviously, because those come in first, but we got a lot of flower sites on it. So we're gonna make a surprise harvest. Not the kale, The kale is coming very soon. Obviously, we got to harvest the kale. It looks beautiful. It's purple kale, has very purple features to it. Pretty sure it's very nutritious and very ready to go. But what we will do is we'll come over here and we will mess with this broccoli a little bit. We got some surprise broccoli to harvest. So this plant literally has broke off into different sections, and it now has flowering parts, of which we need to harvest all this beautiful seed. And then it also has flowering heads on it that haven't gone to flower yet. I guess we'll take that later, but we're here for some leaves right now. So we're gonna go ahead and pop some of these bad boys off of here. Look at how healthy and strong these leaves are. Goodness, it's so pretty. Oh my gosh, look at the, gosh, it's like real life 4D or something. So we're gonna keep popping and lopping. We got a few leaves to take off the broccoli because the broccoli is not even really supposed to be here. We just let it stick around, and as you can see, letting it stick around, the plant's turned into something that's just really something to behold. So we're not going to take a bunch of leaves off this plant because it's still producing heads, so we'll let it produce heads until it starts to go to, I guess, second bolt. But that broccoli head right there will go to use. It's just one broccoli head though, so we'll be sparing about it. Yeah, I'll take one more leaf off this plant right here just to get a nice little haul. That's 3 loads of really strong leaves here. Oh yeah. So we got a good collard green harvest. We harvested some of the leaves off the broccoli plant. We're gonna come back later and we're gonna harvest the kohlrabi. But goodness gracious, y'all, like the kohlrabi is on another level. And when I come out later, I'll show you more about the kohlrabi and stuff like that. But just to give you a sneak peek of what's going on with it. Goodness gracious, y'all. These leaves are like, they're growing into each other, something serious. But look at what we got here. Boy, oh boy. Aliens. Back to our roots homestead, called them aliens. And that's exactly what they are. But these are the leaves we'll bring in, and we'll finish our greens harvest for today. And then we'll come back later and we'll do some actual canning with them. We're gonna do some water bath canning with these collard greens so we can have them for later and we can have them for now as well. So let's get on this side. All right, fam, so we can go on and done it now. We got the seeds planted, we got the collards harvested, and stay tuned for the next videos because you'll be able to see progress on the seeds. You'll be able to see the canning process of the Morris heading collards and everything. But right now we're just keeping it going, but we're having a great time doing all of it as we do it. So I'm pretty sure y'all know what that means at this point, but that's Farmer Q out.